I've been sober on suboxone for 8.5 years. What's up, you guys? My name's Nicole Pludre, and I love to talk about drugs, addiction, recovery, and so much more. Let's read this comment together. It says, "You're just getting high legally, not something I would be proud of. Why not just stay sober?" So much to unpack here in this comment. So, first and foremost, when a person is utilizing suboxone, they are not getting high legally. A suboxone high sucks. When you first get on suboxone, if you are opiate naive, that means not taking opioids, then yes, it can cause a euphoric effect when you first begin. If you're a person who is an opiate naive, who is not coming off fentanyl or heroin or other opioids. But once this medication levels out in your system, in your brain, in your body, you do not get a euphoria from this medication. I have been on this medication for 8.5 years. I have tried every way of doing this medication, especially when I first started on it, to try and obtain a high because I was still in my addiction mindset. I overtook my medication. That didn't work because the medication has a ceiling effect. Once those receptors are occupied, there's no more access to them. So it's not getting you higher each time you take more because it's a partial opioid agonist, not a full agonist. So taking more of this medication on top of itself does nothing. It's not going to get you high. It's not going to make you feel a head change. It's not going to do anything. That's why this medication is the gold standard for opiate use disorder treatment, because people are less likely to be able to abuse it. The only way to really abuse suboxone, and I'm keeping it so fucking real with y'all right now, is to divert it. What do I mean by this? I mean, if you're prescribed 8 milligrams of suboxone and you take it on Monday, then you don't take it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you take 8 milligrams on Saturday, then you will feel a feeling. Because what has happened is you've given the medication enough time to unoccupy your receptor. Okay? And so it takes about 4 to 5 days for that medication to be leaving your system. That's how long of a half-life suboxone has. So when people come on here and they say things like, "Oh, you're just getting high, you're just legally getting high." No, we're actually not. We're actually not. We just feel normal. We just don't have the nagging obsession of our mind telling us that we need opioids every single day. We don't have the cravings that are telling us we need to call the dope man. We don't have the triggers that are telling us that our life sucks, so we need to shoot fentanyl. That's what Suboxone does for people who struggle with opiate use disorder. It shuts off the voices in our head. I want to get into the second part of this comment. I would be, so that's not something I would be proud of. Well, guess what? Jalen, you're not me. You're not JoJo. So what you're proud of yourself for is going to look different than what I'm proud of myself for. Because guess what? Newsflash, we're different people. Who would have thunk it? So what you're proud of yourself for, respectfully, I don't really give a fuck. Next, why not just stay sober? Have you followed JoJo for a while? Do you know what she's been through? Do you know that she lost her child? Do you know she lost her baby Mateo? Do you know the trauma that she's gone through? Do you know the circumstances that she's lived through? Because if you did, I think that you would have a lot more understanding and be so fucking proud of her for choosing life, for choosing medication-assisted treatment, because she knows herself. The day and age of going into treatment and staying there for 30 days and then going into sober living and getting a sponsor and going to meetings and calling your sponsor every day and being told, just keep doing the next right thing, being told it works if you work it, being told keep coming back. Those days are over. You want to know why? Because people are fucking dying from fentanyl overdoses. That's why they're not coming back. They don't have a second chance. They don't have an opportunity to keep trying over and over again. It works if you fucking work it. So getting on something like suboxone is like insurance on your sobriety plan. It is like taking out State Farm full coverage insurance on your sobriety to help back you up if something happens. I'm really proud of JoJo for making the decision to get on suboxone, because she's tried many times to get and stay sober through abstinence-only recovery. She has options. We have options. You have options. We all have options today. Just because you had to go to rehab and you had to struggle and suffer and do abstinence-only recovery doesn't mean that all of us have to do that now. It doesn't mean that we have to go through what you had to go through to be sober. As long as a person is taking a medication and it is prescribed by their physician and they're taking it as prescribed, that is accepted as sober. Don't come in here either, motherfuckers, with the mind or mood altering substances, because cigarettes are mind or mood altering. Sugar is mind or mood altering. Sex is mind or mood altering. I mean, there's so many different things. Mental health meds are mind or mood altering. Don't come in here with that bullshit either. Just because something didn't work for you or you don't agree with something doesn't mean that it's wrong. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's a different way. Let me give you another example. I was raised up in a Pentecostal church. When I was a kid, I couldn't cut my hair. I couldn't wear earrings. I couldn't wear makeup. I couldn't wear pants. I only could wear dresses that were past my knees and past my elbows. I couldn't listen to secular music. I couldn't watch TV that had anything to do with, like, not God. And that was my religion. Imagine my surprise when I became old enough to know that there was other religions: Baptist, Catholic, Buddhist, all the different religions, right? Mormon. Do you think I went around and I told those people who were worshiping God that their religion was wrong? Do you think I told them, you can't worship that way because the only way to worship is Pentecostal worship? No, because people have options. They can worship their higher power however they choose and see fit. That doesn't make it wrong. We can recover however we choose and see fit. That doesn't make it wrong. Medication-assisted treatment is saving people's lives every single day. We should be celebrated because we are able to take our medication as prescribed. And a lot of people, I believe, have an issue because they're still living in their addiction mindset. They're abstinent from drugs and alcohol, but they still don't trust themselves. They still don't believe that they can take medication. They believe that they're powerless over drugs and alcohol, which is not true. You have all the power in the world to choose and stay sober every single day. You have all the power in the world to take prescribed medication as it's prescribed. So next time you decide to comment on somebody's post, think before you type. Think before you type. Okay? You don't have to live JoJo's life, and JoJo doesn't have to live your life. Have some fucking respect for her sobriety, and have some respect for yourself.